Welcome to 82 Toothpicks, a podcast from the Huizenga Law Firm. I'm Thad, and I'm joined by Ethan and Jocelyn as we break down our favorite movies and uncover the estate planning gems hidden within them. From comedies and dramas to family sagas, we're talking about the films we love and the legacy lessons they teach. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's talk about the movie. Welcome to 82 Toothpicks. I'm Thad. I'm joined by Ethan, and once again, we are joined by our lovely co-host, Amber. Thank you for coming back to the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome.
Jocelyn is at a family wedding this week, and if there's one thing I know about families, it's that sometimes they can argue about various topics. Coincidentally, our movie this week is about a family that has very different views of life.
That was flawless. Good job.
Amber, tell us about the movie we're watching.
Okay, we watched Knives Out, and it's about a family.
Who doesn't get along?
Who doesn't get along. Because, can I tell the plot?
Yeah. Let's dive right in. Go ahead.
Okay. Grandpa's very wealthy. Grandpa dies at the beginning of the movie. And then the whole movie is like a whodunit thing. And then a lot of it is centered around his wealth and his kids and grandkids wanting a share of the inheritance and figuring out that they don't get some. So then they're blaming each other and they're fighting. And in the middle of that, we're all figuring out who killed Grandpa, or if Grandpa killed himself, or all that. And there's detectives, and there's car chases, and
Benoit Blanc.
Yeah, the one and only. What I like about this movie is we find out at the beginning what happens.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Because it's a whodunit,
Yep.
but it's not really.
Nope.
Because they tell you right smack in the middle of the first main sequence, this is what happened.
I
And then
appreciate
the
that.
rest of the movie, you're watching them try to figure it out, and it's not actually a movie about the death. It becomes a movie about the quirks of the family and how they self-destruct around this inheritance.
Up to this point, maybe the most obviously estate planning film we've watched.
Pretty darn close.
I mean, that's what it is.
The first scene is a house. And I go, estate planning. That's a big house.
Nice.
So one of my favorite movies growing up was Clue.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Lloyd's Clue from 1968.
Yep.
And that was kind of my first exposure to murder mysteries and that whole genre. And then I've really liked them since then. This is maybe the most modern, classic murder mystery that we have.
Sure.
I mean, is there a better example of this genre?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I would have to work to come up with a better one or even a similar one. I mean, the ones in the series, right? Because there's now the third.
There's 3, yeah.
I didn't know there was more than one.
Comes out, yeah. So
Okay.
the third one comes out at the end of November.
Wow. Got some catching up to do.
So the second one is on Netflix.
Okay.
I watched this one on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's the only comparable is the other ones in this series. Murder on the Orient Express. Did you see that one? It came out a couple years ago. So that's an Agatha Christie story.
There's another one I'm thinking of. Bullet Train.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
murders on a train.
Yep.
And then it's a whole whodunit. That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. There's not a lot of them. It's not a real common genre.
Do you think it'll come back?
Well, I mean, they're making a third one of these.
Sure.
And
I'm saying more broad audience.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is they're making a third one of these because it's successful.
Sure.
Right? And I think that's partly because it's good storytelling and the stories are interesting. But I also think the characters matter. Benoit Blanc.
Daniel Craig. It's hard for me to see him do that accent, though.
Yeah.
I'm used to the James Bond thing. And when he went there, Chris Evans uses this line where he says, CSI KFC.
Yeah.
And that killed me.
Yeah. It's funny.
He calls him Foghorn Leghorn at one
Yep.
point. I loved that they gave him this crazy, Louisiana? What is that?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's kind of that.
Yeah.
His southern
Or
drawl.
the Nolans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's part of the reason this movie is successful.
Okay.
Right? Because to have a detective that's just sort of milquetoast would be you couldn't watch it.
It'd be boring.
Yep.
Boring. Benford Blanc.
Is that your favorite character, Ethan?
So I was just going to ask,
Yeah.
who are your favorite characters? I would say probably not.
Okay.
I know mine.
I think I don't know that any of the characters are particularly likable, but I find the cops to be very funny.
Yeah, they're
Like
the serious one, and then the fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find them to be very funny. Kind of the straight man and the.
One of them's name's Elliot, and that just, gosh, whole time
What
we're
a
watching
good
it,
name.
I was like, oh geez, I'm gonna see this everywhere now.
Yeah, probably.
My favorite character is the grandma, the old grandma in the wheelchair.
Yes.
She's like, Ransom, is that you again? I love her. And then she sits there quiet for like the rest of the movie.
And she just
And then he
randomly
has-
jump scares people by standing there.
Yeah.
Well, wheeling. She's wheeling.
How old is she? Honestly, we have no idea.
She's just existing there, like shaking a little bit. I love her. And also like her one-on-one interview with Blanc, where she just sits there. He's like, I know you know something. And she just sits there. And
You want to tell me?
she has so much knowledge. But she just isn't going to say it. She's so secretive and I love her.
That's your favorite character? Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Okay.
She doesn't get a lot of screen time, but I love her.
I hate this, but I like Ransom's character.
I was going to
Okay.
say him, and then I really do like the cops the best. I think they break some of the tension, but they provide a nice kind of.
Why do you like Ransom?
Gosh,
He's good.
he's the character. He's the gadfly, right? Like his point is to provoke everybody in his
Yes.
family the whole time.
Because he shows up in the
Mhm.
movie for the first time, and everything gets tense,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you can feel that.
The scene when they're at the diner where he obviously sets up Marta for selfish purposes, right?
Mhm.
So he can get his cut, but he portrays it in this. I want to help you. I want you to keep most of this. I just want my half. Like, let's work together on this. I think it's a move. Like it's clever how he does it,
And
but
then
you
he
hate him at the
He
same
gets her
time.
to eat beans.
Yep, and
then
sausage.
she has to spill the beans because she'll throw up.
It's a Thad joke.
I didn't even catch that, but
Really?
that's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crafty.
So we have a synopsis. We have a good cast. Do we like the other family members? Do we think not like? Maybe that's the wrong word because I think we're supposed to dislike
They're
them.
not particularly likable.
But
What I was gonna say is I think they do a pretty good job giving them all like a backstory in such a quick amount of time so that you're not like, oh, I don't know anything about that character. Like each of them, like it's not much, but each of them has like one thing that kind of like, I don't know, it gives them a purpose for being in the movie.
Sure.
Because I feel like sometimes you introduce characters and you don't know anything about them besides what you see happening like during the movie. But I don't know, they do a good job giving them each like a couple little quirks and a couple like selfish tendencies.
it's a really interesting group because it feels big, but it's really the old guy has two kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jamie Lee Curtis's character, I'm forgetting her name. And then Walt is her younger brother.
Is it an E?
Lori?
Something like that.
It ain't Lori. I don't know.
Whatever her name is. But then it's her husband. And then they had a third sibling, but they died. And it's his wife. So the widow.
Yes.
Right? So it's these four people, but really it's a couple and then an in-law and then a sibling, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it's the grandkids beyond that.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to be hard in this podcast not to immediately jump to the estate planning stuff.
Because it's the whole movie.
It's the whole movie, right?
Yep.
I assume you've seen families like this.
It's weird. It doesn't happen as often as you would think.
Okay.
But having said that, these are the issues we talk about with people all the time, right? People are concerned about their in-laws. People are concerned about their, the grandkids and spendthrifts and not wanting to have trust fund babies. And right, that's what happens with Ransom, is he's living off of this trust fund.
Sure.
So it's not so much that we see it all the time, which is, again, as much as it shows up in movies, it's not really normal, but they're the issues that people are concerned about.
Sure.
Right. I mean, you go through that threats analysis. This is a big one.
Yeah, for sure. This is The second movie we watched where the game Go kind of has a role.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
We didn't plan that, but they started playing Go, and I'm like, we just saw that.
Yeah, in Beautiful Mind.
Go check out our Beautiful Mind episode.
I don't
excellent.
understand Go.
I've never played it. Have you played it?
No.
Maybe we should all learn it. Maybe we should just
should.
have a podcast where we just play Go.
That would be really boring.
That'd be fun because no one can see the board.
I will do the color commentary. You two can play.
Ethan now places a white Go piece on the board.
Yeah,
And
white
it's
to
just-
G7.
Yeah.
Like
It's
she
just
said.
the clicking of the pieces going down.
Bonus content for our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll be riveting.
We could do Go Fridays.
Go Fridays.
Go Fridays.
We should just learn as a group how to play Go. Maybe that'll be our thing as a law firm.
Team retreat.
Team retreat. Love it.
Team retreat is just Go practice.
Had you guys seen this movie before this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
Okay. So I watched this for the first time this week.
Nice.
Oh.
We actually we watched the first half Wednesday night
Okay.
and the second half Thursday. And Amber, I approached you in the kitchen and I was like, all right, I'm one half into this. And you started like telling me the next scene and I was like, whoa. Like
Well,
I haven't got there yet.
you didn't preface, I'm one half into this. You said, tell me the plot. And I just assumed that meant I could tell the whole plot.
The plot, not the spoilers.
You made it sound like you had watched the whole movie.
No, we just watched the first half. So we watched up into the will reading,
Okay.
but we didn't get to the will reading. So that's like the climax of the
Yeah.
movie right there. When Marta finds out she got everything.
It's the rising action because the climax of the movie is the fallout.
Explain.
There's no conflict until they read the will,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
There's tension, I guess. But
Yeah, but
there's
not
no
tension
conflict.
about that, right? The
Right.
tension is how did he
Yeah,
he
yeah.
died, and why do we have a criminal investigation and we're being interviewed by the police, and it's sort of this confusion.
Sure.
Then they read the will, and then all heck breaks loose.
all of heck.
Okay, so are you saying like the peak of the movie is when Blanc is doing his soliloquy? When he solves the mystery, we're saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So the will reading
Mhm.
is without the will reading, we don't have the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
it's not really the climax. It's
Sure.
right. You'd think that the suicide murder at the beginning is the
The rising action.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's the first in a series of steps that lead up to.
Yeah.
We read the will. We find out Marta gets everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now all heck breaks loose, and it's every kid, grandkid, in-law
Yeah.
trying to get her to give up the inheritance.
Have you done a will reading?
Nope.
Is that a thing in Iowa?
It's not a thing.
In general?
He says that.
Yeah, he said this is
This is not legally required.
a theatrical tax return is what he called it,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Interesting. I didn't know
it's
that.
just not a thing that people really do anymore. I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure there are law firms that do them, and there's a gravitas to it, but
I feel like
it's-
that also just invites in all
right,
that
and that's-
conflict because you invite all those people over to your office, or in this case, he went to their home, but like they're rich.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Well, that's what I mean, right? There's the theatrical
Sure.
part of it is it gives weight to
Mhm.
what's happening, right? And so there's value in that, I think, in terms of we want to take this seriously. But I think the reason that will readings aren't common anymore, and I know that the reason we don't do it that way here
Mhm.
is because a good estate plan is communicated to the people involved in it before it's needed,
Sure.
Mm.
right? It's a meeting we
Yeah.
provide, right? Our family care
Family care
meeting
meeting.
is entirely focused on here's what mom and dad did.
Mhm.
So you can be prepared, right? And then
Mhm.
we can say why, right? We can say, Marta took care of me, was kind to me, was my constant companion, and she needs this money more than any of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm giving it all to her.
Mhm.
And if you don't like it, too bad.
Yeah.
But instead, he died. His lawyer read it. And then
They all freaked out.
the irony of that is we've been talking somewhat regularly in the last several weeks about who the client is and who can we give information to. And the family is asking the guy who wrote Dad's will how to get out of.
Yep.
Like, no, no, that's a conflict.
Yeah, there's a whole scene. He says he was sound mind. Like, we can't just contest this.
Yep. Because they say, well, there's got to be undue influence.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, no.
And also, I'm not, if I'm the lawyer who drafted the will,
yep,
I'm not giving you advice about that. I can't do that. That's fundamentally a conflict of interest for me to step into that role.
I was going to ask you about the we've been doing a lot of ethics training around here lately, right? Doesn't him reading the will to anybody but the executor, doesn't that breach? No. Why not?
Because it's interested party.
Okay.
Right.
Are children by default interested parties?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So under Iowa law, anyone who is interested in the estate, meaning not, I'm curious, but like I have a financial or relational connection to this estate, can petition to open an estate. In South Dakota, there's actually a statute that says the custodian of the will is required to provide it to someone who asks for it if they're an interested party, basically. So, no. The other thing about that is the will becomes public record. So, like in Iowa, we have to file it with the court. 40 days after somebody passes away.
Okay.
That doesn't mean we're opening a probate. It just means we're filing it, and it is now public record. There are counties where this is more common, that people will take their wills to the courthouse and file them before they die. And then when they pass away, the will is in the courthouse. And that's so that we always can find that will by going to the clerk of court. But no, the contents of the will, once somebody dies, it's not confidential anymore. And that's actually one of the things in the ethics training that we've been doing, is the idea that attorney-client privilege
ends at death.
Ends when one of the people dies.
Sure.
So either the lawyer or the client passes away, the attorney-client privilege goes away.
So I have a question. Going back to the interested parties, then, does that mean Marta should not have been there for the reading of the will?
No, because she's a beneficiary.
But she didn't know that.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. But I feel like she was
You
there
can be
just by like chance.
Yeah, you can be an interested party and not know it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because if she wasn't supposed to be there, theoretically, the lawyer would have said, you can't be here. Theoretically.
So the lawyer had an assistant with him.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I have no idea.
Is it common for... No, these will readings aren't common anyway.
Right.
This is all just... Okay.
It's just a movie.
Well, I did appreciate, though, that they got a lot of it right.
Sure.
Right. With, you talked about the family structure, and we've got these kids and then the grandkids and in-laws and all of that. Like, that was all very intentional. And that's why this movie is so fundamentally, so obviously an estate planning movie, because it's tied to intestate succession and your heirs at law. And he's got a will, so he's not intestate, but the people in the room are who would inherit if there wasn't a will. And so that's the source of the conflict, of the tension for the second half of the movie. And it's just such a cool, like, only estate planners are that interested in this stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and here it is. Here we have a whole movie where the conflict of the movie is tied to that specifically.
Sure. There's another, I hate to keep diving into the estate stuff.
This is great. It's the whole movie, man. So we got to talk about it.
There's a scene where Marta gets the mail after she inherits this thing, and it's a stack of business cards from local attorneys, right?
Yeah.
How would anybody have found out? Was there a probate?
Filed for safekeeping. The will probably got filed with the courthouse.
Okay.
And once the person is deceased, anybody can go look. And so if this guy was wealthy, it's possible that those
so the
lawyers...
town finds out he died. They look to see if he had a will. They find out he gave everything to Marta. Okay. Got it.
Sneaky.
Yeah, we're not doing that, right?
Well, that's why we do. That's why we tell
Right?
people not to go through probate, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have all your assets in a trust,
Yep.
it doesn't have to go to court. Now, it might, the reasons we go to court when we have a contract are we don't know what the contract means, and so we need a judge to interpret it for us, or somebody does something wrong that breaches the contract in some way. So as long as your trust is clear and you know what's supposed to happen next, it doesn't have to go to court, which means the whole thing is private. So if we had a trust in this particular case, all of that
movie would have been a little different.
Would have been very different.
Is there anybody with? So we don't know what is it? Is it Harlan?
Yeah,
is that his name?
Harlan.
We don't know what his net worth is. We know he has the house. They say he has $60 million in the bank, and then he has his book empire, right?
Yeah, because he's an author. He's a published author, and he's got a publishing house. There's
no practical reason he wouldn't have had a trust, right?
You'd think that.
Okay.
Prince died without a trust.
The artist formerly known?
No, his name was Prince.
His name was Prince. Oh, okay.
He was Prince.
Why didn't he have a trust?
The weird symbol, and then he was the artist formerly known as Prince, and then he was Prince again.
Yeah.
The weird symbol.
Because people don't do their planning.
Yeah.
Right? People don't want to think about it. That's normal.
Sure.
It's one of the reasons you ask in the meeting.
Yeah.
When people come in for the very first time and they're talking to you, one of the first questions you ask them is, so why'd you come in today? And they say, well, I want to get my will done. And then you say, why do you want to get your will done? Because the point is not, I need a will. The point is, what are you trying to accomplish? But something prompted them to come in. Something. Sometimes it's my kids have kids, right? So new grandchild. And now I'm thinking about that. And legacy is front of mind because we've got another generation. Sometimes it's, I was in a car accident and now I'm freaking out because I could die at any time.
We've had clients come in who just said, I'm going on a vacation next month.
Yep.
And I'm scared of airplanes.
Yep. We're getting on an airplane and I want to get my will done. So if I die on an airplane, it's good to go.
Yep.
And then we have that conversation with them of, is a will really the right tool for you? Because a will is sort of the thing everybody knows about because of movies like Knives Out. But the will might not be the best solution for you.
Sure. And
so then we talk through that with people. But yeah, you're absolutely right that a trust would have fundamentally changed the experience of this movie.
But then we wouldn't have a
Would
movie.
it have ruined the movie?
I don't think so. I think the rising action would have been different.
Yeah.
You could have still gotten to the end result.
Okay. Do you guys want to play a game?
I love games.
Game.
Okay. I guess I approach the games a little bit differently than Jocelyn does when she's here, but she's not here. So we're going to play my type of game.
Our Beautiful Mind episode was a fun game. The Prisoner's Dilemma.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
I lost.
Yep, you did.
I wasn't having fun.
It was extra fun because I won.
I've just learned not to be kind anymore.
Don't be kind anymore. All right, so if you want, you can grab a buzzer.
Yes.
You don't need it because it's still turn-based, but you can still buzz in.
I want a buzzer.
Amber, you inspired us. You inspired us with our Working Genius presentations last week. You played a game called Two Truths and a Lie.
I sure did.
So using that as my inspiration, I decided to go back, dig into a couple of famous murder mysteries in America's history. I'm going to tell you the case.
We're doing true crime.
I'm going to tell you 2 lies about the case and 1 truth, but not necessarily in that order. So I'm going to read you the case name. I'm going to read you 3 sentences, and you have to tell me which one of these is true. All right? You don't have to know about the case, but if you've heard of it, it might change your answer.
Help. This is going to be so fun.
Amber, as our guest again, we're going to let you... wait, can we announce?
Yeah.
I ain't a guest.
Amber's not a guest. Amber is going to be a permanent member of the podcast. So,
woo!
Yeah. She's been fun to have on, and we like having you. So thanks for doing it.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
Okay,
people love me.
This is the last time you get guest privilege.
The many people in the soundboard.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. If you've heard of this, tell me. I hadn't heard of this one, so if I pronounce it wrong, let me know. But this is the case of the Black Dahlia. This is Elizabeth Short from 1947. So think Shawshank Redemption time period.
Yeah,
okay?
I know this one.
You know this one.
Well, I listened to a podcast episode about it.
Oh, no.
But
So you're going to...
I don't know if I remember all the details, so go.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Here we go. Three statements. Elizabeth Short's body was found drained of blood and cut in half. Ooh, gory. With her killer sending a taunting letter to police claiming responsibility. Okay, that's sentence one.
That's sentence one.
Sentence two.
That's quite the first sentence.
I was like, that's got to be three things right
Sentence
there.
two.
Woof.
Over 50 people have confessed to this murder, but the case remains unsolved due to lack of concrete evidence. 3, the killer was identified in 2021 as a former LAPD officer, but the case was never officially closed.
The last one is a lie.
You're right, but we're looking for the truth.
What? There's only one truth?
Yeah, there's...
2 lies, 1 truth.
Yep.
Did you say that?
He
I
did.
sure did.
Were you listening?
Come on.
Okay, well, I rolled out the last one.
Yep.
The first one is the truth.
It is not.
What?
50.
Yep.
I was going to guess the confessions.
50 people have confessed. That's bizarre.
Yeah. And it's still unsolved. Like,
Yeah.
What?
So thinking about Knives Out, Marta confesses to the murder halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Well, because
She
she
tells
thought,
Blanc.
what's wrong about the first one? The whole,
It's a lie.
all of it?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I was really confident on that one.
We need to talk about the fact that Marta didn't actually kill him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because she knew the weight of the bottles
It's a
just
twist.
from
The viscosity.
muscle memory. So
Yep.
she's didn't even look at the labels. She's like, this is the
what
morphine.
killed him?
Suicide.
Himself.
Yes. The bottles had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She didn't look at the labels until after she gave him the dosage, and then she looked at it and she's like, oh my gosh, I messed this up. But,
I love that scene. He finds out he's 10 minutes from death. And,
and
he's just
taking
cool.
notes
And
about for his next
Yeah.
book. He's like, so can I ask details about this? And she's freaking out because she doesn't have the stuff to
Yeah.
Fix
just
it.
To
Yeah,
stop
he's a
the morphine.
WT.
Yeah, probably.
I have a question and I need to write this down.
He's like, so I'm dying, but how long will this take?
Yeah. That's the thing that we kept coming back to. And I'm like, she didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Slayer statute doesn't apply.
Yeah. They call it the Slayer rule.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? Do you know?
It's probably called that.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's technically, for it to be a statute, it has to be codified, right? So it has to be written in, the Iowa Code has a Slayer statute.
Did they live in Connecticut? Did they say in the movie where they live?
I don't know.
I know it's on the East Coast because they
Yeah.
talk about New York and Boston, and she goes to Harvard, but okay.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's the thing. When after she confesses to the murder, except she didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she goes to tell the family, and Blanc's like, "You didn't do anything wrong."
Yeah, you didn't.
It's
you
the
didn't kill him.
donut within the donut hole.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ethan.
And
This
then,
one's for you.
and then the donut hole is actually a donut with another hole.
And it doesn't end.
All right, Ethan. Round 2.
Yeah.
This one is about something called the Zodiac Killer.
Oh,
from
yes.
1968.
Good one.
Okay, here we go. 3 sentences. Sentence 1. The Zodiac Killer claimed in letters to the police that he was responsible for 37 murders, though only 7 attacks were verified. Sentence 2. The killer was caught in 1975, but released due to insufficient evidence, and the case remains open today. Number 3. The Zodiac Killer's ciphers were all solved by 2020, revealing his identity as a San Francisco journalist. I can read those again.
Nope.
Got it.
Those are big sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I think the numbers seem off to me, so I think the last one is true.
Nope. It's wrong. First one's true.
That was he read it, and I was like, well, that's the story.
That's it. We're done.
But then, like I said, I felt like there was something with the numbers that was going to be off.
So the Zodiac Killer confessed to 37 murders. Police verified 7, 5 fatal, but still never caught. Still open. Bizarre.
Yeah.
All right.
Still out there.
All right. Here we go, Amber.
Probably not.
I'm ready.
Round 3. This is for somebody named John Bonnet Ramsey.
John Benet Ramsey is a little girl.
Jocelyn's going to listen to this episode, and then she's going to storm into your office
This
and
one's really
stab you in the
sad.
eye with a pen.
I would never intentionally provoke Jocelyn for any reason.
It's John Benet.
None. It's a guy
It's a girl.
named John,
Yeah.
Jean Bonnet.
Jean Bonnet.
She was 6 or
also
something.
from Louisiana.
John Benet.
No.
Okay. 1996. Here we go. John Benet Ramsey's autopsy revealed she was poisoned before being strangled, leading to theories of a professional hit.
Would you read that again?
John Benet Ramsey's autopsy revealed she was poisoned before being strangled, leading to theories of a professional hit. Is it Joan Benet? What is it?
No, it's Jean Benet.
Okay, I said it right.
It's like, yeah, Jean Benet is like her, that's how she goes by.
Joan Benet.
John.
I super hate
All right.
you.
Keep going.
Number 2.
I know this one.
Her brother, Burke Ramsey, was cleared as a suspect after DNA evidence excluded all family members. And number 3, the case was solved in 2016 when a neighbor confessed to the crime on a hidden camera.
So there's 2 lies and 1 truth.
Correct.
There. Her brother being cleared, that's a lie.
You're trying to find the truth here.
No, I'm working like backwards.
Okay.
It's still open. So that last one's a lie too.
Okay. So you're saying number 1?
2 and 3 are lies. Number 1 is a truth.
Wrong.
What?
2's the truth. Her family was cleared. It's unsolved, but they have DNA evidence that suggests that there is no family connection.
That's why Jocelyn being so certain her mom killed her is silly, because they have evidence that proves that she didn't.
But no, because they matched up letters to her mom's handwriting. And didn't those match up? And her brother's fingerprints were all over the pineapple bowl. She wasn't poisoned.
Yeah.
I don't think so. She ate pineapple beforehand and her brother's fingerprints were all over the pineapple bowl. That's what I remember anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
The first one, autopsy revealed she was poisoned. That's a lie.
I really think so.
Yeah, she drowned.
Yeah.
I don't like this game. This is backwards. I don't like this.
That's okay.
She didn't drown. She was strangled.
I don't know anything about this one.
They found her in the pool.
No, they didn't. You're lying. She was in the basement.
All right. Round 4.
I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Axeman.
I want to go home.
The Axeman of New Orleans, 1918. It's an old one, Ethan. Okay. Have you heard of this one at all? Okay. Number 1, the Axeman killed only Italian immigrants, leading to theories of mafia-related motives. Number 2, the Axeman was identified as a local butcher who used his shop's tools for the murders. And number 3, he sent a letter to newspapers claiming he would spare homes by playing jazz music on specific nights. One of those is true. 2 of them are lies.
Amber's vibrating.
Because I think I know it, but then
tell me which one.
I think 3 is true.
Yeah.
No. That one's wrong. I love the creativity on that one just because it's in New Orleans and they had to include jazz. Yeah. No, 1 is true. He only killed Italians.
All right.
Yep.
So he's racist.
Well, or he hates the mafia.
One of them did.
That doesn't make him less of a
I was gonna say that's the same.
Did you make this game or did you find this?
Yes.
We're terrible at this.
You guys are tied 0-0.
I feel like I'd be so good at this, and I'm not. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
You just don't listen very well to your podcast, I guess.
I don't listen to the rules of the game very well.
Well,
that's my problem.
That's probably true. So you and Jocelyn have that in common.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna do well this time.
This one, I don't really know why we would include it in a murder mystery thing because it's about this dude named O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
I know him.
Statement 1. O.J. Simpson was acquitted because DNA evidence was mishandled by the LAPD. Number 2, the murder weapon, a knife, was found in Simpson's backyard in 2000, but it was too late to use it in court. And number 3, Nicole Brown Simpson's diary revealed she feared O.J. would kill her, which was suppressed during the trial. 2 of those are lies. 1 is true.
I'm thinking. I want to do this well. Otherwise, I lost every game I've played so far. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I think.
Do you know, Ethan?
Maybe.
I think number 1 is true.
Okay. Ethan, do you have an answer?
Number 2 is the true.
Number 1 is the true one.
I did it.
Amber, you won the game.
Good job.
What do we think? Do we like those games, or do we want to stick to?
That was
Oh,
fun.
this is good.
I think
got
those
to
are-
use my buzzer.
Cool. I got to use.
I used it in the
buzzer.
wrong way, but I got to use it.
I used it in the wrong-
This is where we would typically begin our discussion on estate planning, right?
All
but
right.
we've really leaned into that pretty hard already.
Yeah, like you can't talk about this movie without talking
No.
about it, right? The estate planning stuff. So, yeah, I think it's super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The way they use different facets of estate planning issues to drive the story forward.
Mm.
Whether it's the beneficiaries or the Slayer rule or, right, the reading of the will. And then you have, right, can she disclaim it? They're trying to get her to waive her right to like all of these
Can
things.
you do that?
Sure.
Okay.
What they don't know is that if she disclaims, then it doesn't go to them.
Who's it go to?
It goes to her kids.
Marta's kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because if you disclaim, it's like you died.
That makes a difference. Because the whole point is them trying to get her to say,
Uh-huh.
you guys can have this, not me.
Uh-huh.
Wow. See?
See?
Even in the estate planning movie, that got a lot right.
Well, and I mean, that doesn't preclude that from happening, but they talk specifically about her waiving it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, you don't waive an inheritance. You can disclaim an inheritance, but then there's only two options. Either the disclaimer
Mhm.
acts like a disclaimer and you are treated as if you died, or the will or trust that you're dealing with says if somebody disclaims, then this happens,
Mhm.
right? So it's a good example of needing to be specific
Mhm.
in order to accomplish your intent. So I suppose there's another way that could happen, which is she disclaims, they treat her as if she had predeceased, and then the will says, if Marta has already died, then do this, right?
Okay.
That would be the other way that comes out. But the disclaimer itself doesn't solve the problem.
Sure. I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Walt meets Marta in the back alley and says, if you give this up, we will take care of you
Yeah.
because we have the resources to hire the right attorneys,
I
right?
didn't like that scene.
And then she says, well, if you have the resources to hire it and I have the resources, then I can just hire the attorney. You remember this part?
Yeah.
I loved that maneuver. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
It's like, go. Yes.
Go.
Stick it to
Yes.
that guy.
He like
Yeah.
comes hobbling at her with his cane.
Yeah. Canes are intimidating.
He's like, get away from me with your cane.
Yep.
I'll knock that away and you're going to fall. That's what she should have done.
Do you guys have favorite scenes?
I think it's quite iconic when she's standing on the balcony looking at all of them at the end drinking out of Harlan's mug.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is my house, my rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, this is my house now.
Yep.
My house. Yeah,
I think
I just like this movie.
I
Yeah.
think the
it's fun.
reveal of how she snuck around to make sure none of the other family members found out Harlan was dead or dying was like really well. Like that was revealed really well.
Sure.
Like she was like sneaking out, like pretending to be him, and they're like, "Go back to bed, Dad." So like, I saw him, you know.
Mm.
I
And
like
she sneaks through the window, and
I like the dogs. I think
Yeah.
they're a fun detail because they don't really bark at her.
they hate Ransom.
I think it's interesting when they're all in the room together,
Mm.
kind of around the reading of the will.
Sure.
Right? Whether it's before or during, after. It's not the reading of the will, it's all the interactions outside of that.
Sure.
I think are really interesting, and it tells you a lot about those characters, right? Those bits of dialogue tells you something interesting about each of them. And I think what makes this movie so good, why it's such a well liked, right? It's the murder mystery, but not really.
Yeah.
Is the writing is just
Yep.
exceptional.
I'm a sucker for a car chase in movies.
Oh yeah,
I just like those. And when they do this spoof of like this Hyundai Elantra hatchback going 55 miles an hour on the interstate,
I am flooring it.
it's being passed by the cop cars trying to like persuade her to pull over. I thought that was so funny. And then Ransom being like, or she says something like, "Oh, did you want to drive?" And he goes, "I wish we were driving my car." Like,
Yeah, I wish we had taken the BMW.
yeah. I love that part.
She slams on the brakes and the cops go flying past and she turns.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
I'll do that if I'm ever in a car chase.
The last podcast, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
We talked about like how I don't like spiders.
Uh-huh.
And there's
You don't
this
like
scene-
spiders either?
No, I hate spiders. And there's the
I
scene
don't
where
either.
she signs a flashlight in the
Oh
man's
my
face, and the
gosh. Yeah.
spider's like crawling up her. Oh, that just
I can't watch that.
yeah, I hated that.
And it's a gross spider too. It's not like a little.
And her eye is open, and I was like, how did they even get like? What kind of actress would do that? Yeah. So that was my least favorite
I am
scene.
so glad you hate spiders because I haven't found anyone else that hates them as much as me. And
All right, so I take every movie we watch and I rate every movie on a scale of 1 to 10. I have multiple categories. Don't sigh like that.
I'm
It's a good
thinking about
system.
the spider.
Okay. All right.
Your system's great.
I give every movie 0 to 3 points on 3 categories: laugh, cry, and think. And I give a bonus point if I would watch the film again. All right. So Amber, as the newest permanent member of the podcast, do you want to start us off with this?
Yeah. Okay. I would watch it again. Point number 1.
Come.
I didn't cry at all. No crying. 0 for cry.
Come.
I think there's think. I'm gonna give think a 2 because the first time I saw it, I was like, what? Like
Sure.
every scene. Laugh. I didn't do a lot of laughing.
Come.
I'd say 1 for laugh.
Okay. 4 out of 10 on this.
Just because I didn't cry.
It's mine. It's a rating.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Sticking with 4. All right. Ethan, walk us through it.
1, cry.
Come.
When did you cry?
I didn't say I cried.
So to give it a 1 out of 3 on cry.
But was there anything that like would have made you cry?
I think there's some crying things in this.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
when?
Her mom,
Family's completely disinherited.
Marta's mom,
Yeah.
is an immigrant. Like that whole story.
Saving people's
Do you
lives.
rate cry
the
based
pressure.
on if you did
The guy
cry or if
kills
it's like
himself.
Jocelyn does.
that's how I rate it. Like I didn't cry at all, so I'm giving it a 0.
Cry to me it was the movie emotional.
Oh. Okay, that's good to know. Keep going.
I'm going to give it a 2 for laugh.
Come.
I'm going to give it a 2 for think and a 1 for watch again.
Okay.
Because I like this
6.
movie a lot.
Sure. Yeah, I like that. It's a good rating.
Yeah.
Both
I mean,
good ratings. But
No.
It's not my favorite. Like,
Sure.
I'm not seeking it out all the time, but like I'll watch the third one when it comes out in November.
Sure. Do you want to amend your rating? Is that
No.
okay? That's fine.
It's good. I don't want the 4 to say that I hated that movie, but
Sure.
Well, yeah, and you've definitely watched it again.
yeah.
So
Give me a 2 on laugh. I think there are some clever lines. We talked about the BMW line. I like that. We talked about all the things Blanc did. I think there are some break tension.
I think Benoit Blanc is a funny character.
Yes. Same with the cop that like is really into the books.
Yeah.
I think the granddad is really funny. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it's a 3. It's not a comedy, but I laughed a lot during
Yeah.
this movie.
Same.
So give me a 2. Give me a 3 for think. It's a murder mystery. You're trying to figure it out the whole time. There's like, it's a very compelling storyline for me. Gets into a lot of family dynamics. We talked a lot about how it relates to our work. So I'll give me a 3 on this one for think. Cry, I'm with you. There's some sad things, but it's not like a tearjerker. It's not like your beloved character dies.
I don't think it gets a 0. Like I would give, there are comedy movies that I would give 0 on cry.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Horror films get 0 on cry.
Yep.
Unless I'm crying because it's so bad.
Bawling in the movie theater.
And then I
Can't take it.
It's so horrible.
I would probably watch this one again.
Nice.
Like I could see myself if this becomes a trilogy, like watching through the trilogy.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me a 7 on this one.
Nice.
I like this one a lot.
I went back and forth because I think the think part of this one, for me, the mystery isn't the mystery. Like,
Okay.
It wasn't a whodunit in the way that
Sure.
Thursday Murder Club
Yeah, you brought that up.
is a whodunit.
Okay.
Mm.
So that's why I didn't give it a 3.
Sure.
But there's definitely some very interesting, like you said, estate planning themes and things like that. So
Okay.
I kind of went back and forth, but I like 2. So
Okay.
Cool.
Any final thoughts to close out this movie? This is a good one.
Yeah,
It is
I've
a
been
good
looking
one.
forward to doing this one since we started the podcast because it's very much, this is an estate planning movie.
Sure. Okay. Well, thanks,
It's
guys.
good.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
thanks for tuning in to 82 Toothpicks. This episode featured your hosts, Ethan, Jocelyn, and Thad breaking down the movie. Want more? Check out Ethan's book, It's Not Too Late, for insights on securing your own legacy. Visit us at heizingalaw.com for all things 82 Toothpicks, including past episodes and more. If you enjoyed the show, follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. You know the drill. And remember, every movie is an estate planning movie.